Hello everybody, my name is TricksterShadow, and today you may notice something a little bit different about VHS. We have an update. Now, I didn't expect this update to be happening because it is Saturday, and normally the devs don't work on the weekends, but it seems like they're very hard at work because they released a patch on Saturday. And you may notice on this monster icon, this little play as monster, there's a 10% bonus for playing monster. So we'll get to that. We're going to go through everything right now. We have patch 1.0.70169, mouthful, matchmaking improvements, quality of life updates, and bug fixes. With this patch, we're aiming to address some of the top feedback we received from the community since early access launch. This includes improvements to matchmaking and the training mode, quality of life updates, and a number of bug fixes. Take a look. Eyes emoji. Reward system. Playing as certain characters will now grant a bounty multiplier to their XP and prize points earned at the end of the match. The multiplier is shown on a character selection screen and near the play button when applicable. Aimed at improving matchmaking wait times for this patch, playing as monster will give players a 10% bounty multiplier. In the future, we will develop this system to better reward players for choosing to play as roles that facilitate fast matchmaking. So it sounds like they don't have, it's not a dynamic system right now. It sounds like they're still developing a dynamic system, but for now they just have like a very basic system in place to just give monsters 10% more points for playing monsters since it's the less played role. And so if we look at Teen doesn't have this, but if you switch over to Monster has the 10%, and you can look on the character select, it also has 10% for this. And the fact that there's 10% applied to like each of these individual monsters, this is speculation purely. I don't know. But I wonder if they'll ever go with, like, if there's not enough Doll Masters, for example. If there's enough Warts, enough Werewolves, but there's not enough Doll Masters, I wonder if they'll specifically give incentives for Doll Masters, because like they need more people to have more monster diversity. And if they do that, I think that'd be a really good system to try to get people to play more monsters and try to play and try to have more monsters be played instead of like the same few, if that ever happens. So good change. And if you're curious about how this has actually affected the queue times, let's actually go through a little bit more. The Founders Pack Director's Cut movie scenes, the Spectral Splatter DX and the Window DX only require 9,000 points to complete, down from 12,000. So this is the one where you needed 12,000 points in order to complete the challenge. You need to earn that. And as Teen specifically, it is very hard to do. They reduced it to 9,000, but this does not apply to the regular character movies. This only applies to the Founders Pack movies. I'm assuming just because they want people to more easily get the things that they paid for through the Founders Packs. And the character movies, I'm assuming they just want those to be a little bit more of challenges, because once you complete them, then that character has no more challenges. And so it's a good change. Matchmaking made improvements to the matchmaking system to improve match quality, particularly for new players. Hopefully this actually does help out with new players. They can face a little bit better of matches. But if you're wondering specifically with these matchmaking incentives, how much they've actually affected the game, well, I played a little bit off stream, a little bit before this video. You can see I'm in queue. Just wait a little bit, because if I try to skip 30 seconds ahead, we're not going to be able to see how long it is. It'll just immediately go into a lobby. You can see normally team queues, minimum, I've had team queues be like 5 minutes, but usually they tend to go a little bit longer. But out of the couple of team queues that I've played, they're like that. They're either like, the range that I've seen is about 30 seconds to 2 minutes. The longest queue that I had was 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And of course, this is very initial impressions. Maybe it'll change the longer this goes on. But initial impressions, the queue times seem to significantly drop with this matchmaking incentive. It's a very good sign. And also probably the matchmaking improvements that they made. So good to see. And then if you're curious about, actually, I have something else to show you, but we gotta go through the patch notes. I'm kind of jumping the gun. All right, training mode. Characters equipped perks, weapon mods, and mutations will now function in the training modes. Added a teen character selector in the teen training mode. So training is just below the play button. If we go to the teen training mode, we are spawned in as Jess, but if we want to change characters, we can change characters here to different teens. And so when it comes to like the different like weapons, you can see like Jess, I have this weapon equipped, particularly this modification, or not modification, but skin cosmetic. I have this cosmetic equipped. If we switch over to Leo, I have bought the Wart flamethrower, which is currently in the shop. Yeah, it looks very cute. And so you can see it's working there. And then I believe maybe, I think for Jess, we have the burst energy. If we switch back to Jess, if we go to the ray gun, give burst energy. Or if we go too far away, we can't hit because burst energy reduces our range by 75% less. But we get health back when we hit. So you can see that the modifications are working. And also with Jess, we have low profile 1, which isn't going to work because we have a weapon. Oh, we can see like we're going this fast when we have a weapon. Discard this. We're going a little bit faster, so low profile is working. Show it again. We go back to Leo. Leo, we have Street Smart on, and so we can see those machines through the walls. We can see that noise maker and everything on that table through the walls. And so it looks like perks and modifications are working, so this is very good for testing out things that you may want to test out. And so it's very good to see and good quality of life. So let's keep on going through the changes. Customization. Change the new item notification when new items are acquired to be easier to be seen. I don't know what that looks like. I haven't been able to see that. There's now a mark all as seen button on the customization screen that will clear new item notifications. I wish I could show this, but I accidentally pressed the button because my brain couldn't stop myself from pressing it. But yeah, it's good. Because people didn't like having to like individually go through each item to like mark it as seen. Good quality of life. Score summary. I imagine this may be a little bit controversial for people, but you can still access the information. So the account mastery border and player character level will no longer be displayed in the in-game match score summary. This information remains available in the player details subscreen. So I actually have what this looks like, so you guys can have more of an informed opinion. So if we look at this, so this is me playing teen, and then you can see that there's no mastery borders, so there's no indication of how much time somebody's put in the game. No character levels. But if we go to the bottom right, open details, then we can see the mastery levels, and we can see the other character levels. And so you can still access this. What I'm assuming the reason why they did this is they don't want people that got into the game see like a level 15 monster and be like, oh my god, why am I going against a level 15 monster? In all reality, level 15 monster is probably like 10 to 15 games. Like, it's not somebody that's played a lot. And so like they want people to not just like immediately like rage at the character levels. You can still access them. They just don't want new people to see that and then be immediately discouraged, which makes sense. But you can still access the information, so I don't think it's too big of a deal. And then in terms of the player, the monster point bonuses, if we go over here, we see we earn 7,392 points. And then when it goes to rewarding us points, we get 8,131. So pretty significant increase in points. I didn't run any point modifiers. Good to see that. And then social system. Sound cues now play when someone joins or leaves a party. Good quality of life. Store. To correct a mistake in store pricing, those who bought the Ace Star Tracer Future Fighter at the price of 2,400 fan bucks will be refunded 1,200 fan bucks to make up for the difference. That was the intended price. 1,200 fan bucks. So they overpriced it accidentally, but everybody that bought it at the overpriced price, it's a refund of 1,200 fan bucks. That's good to see. Bug fixes. Fix an issue where the credit was never being given for the movie task knock down a teen while performing a doll jump. Additionally, simplified the movie task to be knock down a teen while doing a jump attack. I can't talk. Which can be credited during or shortly after doing a doll jump. So it's good. Fix instances where the doll traps could be placed in areas where the doll master would get stuck or when they use position or if the doll teleport was used on them. They fixed that. It's pretty game breaking. Fix some cases where the ray gun would play a hit sound but fails to deal damage on monsters with high latencies. That's good. Better hit detection. Fix an issue where Luma would sometimes not be visible to the spectrals. Fix instances where the shockwave of Capture Rift would fail to affect teens or monsters. Fix an issue where wart hit directly by a firebomb when their armored status was about to wear off would continue to burn even after escaping the flames. They fixed that. Fix an issue where the teens would sometimes get stuck in the rotate minigame. It's pretty game breaking. Fix some rare cases where teens would fail to complete an animation of consuming a pickup. Fixed an issue where players would try to rent limited movies when all the scenes for their faction, Teen/Monster, were already completed. It's an issue that I had problems with, so I'm glad they fixed that. Fixed an issue where players that purchased the Founders Pack and launched the game, we're not seeing the reward animations. So like when you launch the game after buying a Founders Pack from like the Steam store, for example, it'll like show you a bunch of the things that you immediately get. Fix an issue where the show-off striped socks that prevented them. So like you can equip these specific socks on female teens, but now you can. Fix some cases where the game could freeze at the start of a match or after leaving the training / tutorial modes when playing through the Epic Store, and then fix an issue where the scene summary screen would show Monster Limited movie scenes even while playing, or even while teen was selected. So some good bug fixes, very needed bug fixes. Matchmaking changes, very good. I think that was the most pressing thing for the game. Hopefully the matchmaking continues to be good. And hopefully it incentivizes people to at least try out Monster, because I don't think Monster is that bad. This game is very, like, if you play bad, if you make a mistake, you're going to immediately know that you made that mistake, and that's something that's really hard for people to get used to. I'm hoping that people with a point incentive, they'll actually try out Monster and actually try to get better as a player. But anyways, we'll see how this all pans out. This is a good step in the right direction. I'm happy to see this is the second patch that we've received in 2 weeks. And so the devs are working really fast. If you don't know, in video game development, that is incredibly fast, getting a patch out every week. And so I'm very happy to see that. I hope that they continue to do very good things with the game, because if they continue doing changes like this and continue improving the game, improving the matchmaking, then I think the game is in pretty good hands and it'll go to pretty good places. So hopefully you guys enjoy VHS. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.